everyone, welcome back. This is Deborah and I'm going to do some more of my quilt today. I made myself a project bag yesterday, just a really super quick project bag with the plastic on the front so that I can see what's in there, and I've made it big enough to fit my squares and also to fit a little packet of things that I'll take with me, needle and thread and things that I want to sew onto my quilt. And I actually did some hand sewing yesterday. I was going to show you that, so I'll get this out and we'll have a look. I haven't done anything more on this one yet. This one I've put one of the yo-yos on, or Suffolk puffs, one of the vintage ones that I got off Etsy from the linen lady, Carolyn Bishop, and I'll put a link to her shop because she has really beautiful things. I think she's down in Lismore or Tamworth or somewhere like that. And hopefully she's not flooded at the moment because we've had terrible flooding down there. This here is a Tim Holtz piece, so it's fabric, it's a canvas or a calico stitched, although I do have some of those that I did make myself as well. And then here I found my vintage French laundry labels and I've sewn two of them on there, so I've just hand stitched that. I went and to one of my knitting groups that I go to, and I did some hand stitching instead, and then I sewed a row of buttons on because I thought that that looked really cute to have 5 buttons, just slightly going down in size as I went down the row, or if you look at it this way, across. So that's that one. And this one here, I have sewed a couple of things on here. I think I mentioned I wanted to put something in these two, and I ended up doing a yo-yo and a button, and then another yo-yo up here as well. And this one, all I've done with this so far, and I do need to stitch that down, is put another one of the laundry labels on. So I've got a few of those left. I did actually buy quite a few of them a while back, you know, a few years back, and I've got a few left. So I've got that one, and I've ordered some more as well. And that, of course, is my project bag. And then in here, I've got a whole bunch of little things that I'll just show you quickly. So I wanted to find some trinkets. So there's more of those laundry labels. And I found these. I don't know where the little one's gone, but I do have a tiny one. This is a lace butterfly that I got in Burano, not Murano. Murano's the glass. So they're the islands off Italy. If you go to Venice, you can do a day trip and they take you to the 3 islands. And Murano for the glass, and you see the glass blowing, and the lace makers on Burano. And the other island, I can't think of the name. So I've got 2 of those which have been sitting in a cabinet, and I thought that that might be cute to put those on here somewhere. I'm not sure where yet. And the other precious thing that I was looking for stuff to put on, and I found, and I've got a few of these as well. These are my father's scouting badges. So he's been gone for 6 years now, and I had these in my drawer, and I remembered that I had them. And he would be 95 now if he was still alive. And he got these when he was about 11, so they're about 85 years old, and I do have a few of them, and I thought I should stitch them on so that they're not just sitting in the drawer. Once again, it's the idea of using something rather than just having it sit in a drawer or in a tub somewhere along the way. And then on this one, I haven't done anything on this square, so these are the 3 that I've sewn together. I did put a piece of lace over here, over the binding strip, and I've put on here, I've put this button. I've got a couple of these buttons. They're just covered, cloth covered buttons, and they've got numbers on them, which I thought was really cool. And then here I've sewn one of those other little Tim Holtz strips on here. So it's just the little 3 X's. I guess if you don't like hand stitching, you know, which I'm not a great fan of, you know, this is something that you could do instead, is to get some pre-made ones and put them on like I have, although I did hand stitch that on. And then here I've got 2 more of the Suffolk puffs, and I'm just doing this little row of stitching along here. Now I'm not, as I've said many times, the best hand stitcher. I certainly am way too impatient to do any form of tapestry or slow stitching or anything like that, but I figured I could do a few little rows like this. So I've just got some tapestry thread and I'm just feeding it in and out. So I'm not even going all the way through to the back because the back is covered with the wadding. Bit of rubbish there. It's too hard to go all the way through the back, so I'm just going through the top of the doily because I felt that this needed something. Now I'm not even worrying about my stitch size. I'm really just sort of poking it in and out because I couldn't be bothered going slow. I do everything fast. I'm a fast person, so that's why. I know I admire all of those people who can do slow stitching and do it really beautifully. We've got quite a number of Australians who are just wonderful at doing it, but I'm not one of them. And I think I need one more. So I'm going to go in here to the back and I'm going to pop out up here because I think I've got enough thread left that I could get it in here. If I do this and I'll turn it round to make it easier to stitch. I think 5's better than 4. It's always odd numbers work better in most instances, I find. So if you're like me and you're not a fan of slow stitching, or you don't have the patience, let's put it that way, like I don't have the patience to do it, then I guess this is another way of achieving an outcome. Whether it's a similar outcome, I won't judge that. I'll just do what I want to do. And I'll just poke it in the back there and stitch it off now. So there you go. I think that that's given it a little bit more texture in this sort of blank area up here, and I quite like that. I'm not sure if I'm finished with this or not. Certainly I will maybe put something down here, although it might look a bit odd if I do that. Although if I take another yo-yo, maybe I could put a yo-yo down there. I'll have to have a think about that and see what it's, if I'm feeling that or not. So with this one, I'm actually going to cut it down a bit more, I think. I'm probably going to cut this, cut that one down. I'll keep that bit as usual. And I wanted to cut a piece of this off as well. Maybe I can cut like across here. I think I'm going to cut this off. Right through the middle of the medallion. I think that'll be fine. And if I sew this onto here, I can flip it back then. And now for something else. Now, I got these as well at the same time that I got the yo-yos. And these are beautiful old pieces of vintage lace. And they come in a pack. So beautiful. Look at that, stunning. And they're just perfect for this sort of work that I'm doing here. So I'm probably going to use one of them now. Once that goes on, I may have to go and sew this on first so I can work out where it's going. I'm wondering if I should, that should be fine. I was just wondering if this is going to get caught in the seam allowance, but I think that'll be fine like that. And then I can sew one of these things on. Okay, I'll go and sew this and then I'll work out what to do next. And the other thing that I've pulled out of these, so this is a bit of a snippet roll that I did ages ago, and I'm wondering if I could put that on, because that would certainly give it a bit of a different look. And maybe I can put that on here like that. What do you think of that? I don't want that thick edge to get caught in the seam. If I put it that way, it's also going to get caught in the seam, isn't it? Maybe I can cut that down. Solves that problem. I'm going to put that over the top and tuck it under there. I only sewed that bit. I didn't sew these ends so that I can lift them up. I think that's going to be, you know, one of the things that I'll keep in mind when I'm working my way through this. If I want to lift them up, I then can. I think that will work there. I'm hoping it will work. It's nice and soft and pale looking, so I think it will work. I should get some of my other snippet rolls out and have a look at them, see if they'll work. Put this one up here. Or maybe, because there's a lot of white on this, maybe I need to go for something that's got a bit more brown, like up here. I'll probably have to put something over here so it's all a bit white looking. Isn't that pretty? This one maybe. Probably a bit too big for what I'm looking for. I'll use that on another one. I might use some more of this lace because it's that brown and it will fit down there perfectly. Okay. Will I put it that way? I think I will. And then in these gaps, I can use more of the Suffolk Puffs yo-yos. I probably should start calling them yo-yos. It's easier to say than the other one. I think people might call them something else. I don't know. That's what I call them. So don't forget to leave me a comment if you've got any tips or, you know, any information that you want to share with me. I read and respond to all my comments, although, having said that, I'll put a caveat on that. The other day I found out that if you reply to someone else's comment, it doesn't notify me and it doesn't tell me that that's happened. Now you're probably thinking, if I'm going to cover all of this up, why bother putting this on? And the answer is that it's about the depth. So if I don't put that on this one, if I just put this directly down on the batting, I am concerned that it's not going to have the same underneath tone that all the others will have. So that's why I'm bothering to do that. And I thought that might be really cool just to put that whole thing across there like that. This is a big tablecloth, so I've got a lot of it. And I really like these things, and I'm making sure that they're going across the centre, or, you know, sort of not the centre, but across here, so that they're on the piece. And now I'll just chop it. This is a hanky, of course, that I'm chopped up then. It does have a little mark there. I'm just going to embrace it, I think, because it's right on the edge of the pretty flower. So I don't really want to cover that up. I could, but I don't think I want to. And I could use the other bit down here like that, couldn't I? Maybe that smaller piece I just cut off. No. Trying to get my angle right. I think here. All right, I've done those, so I'll cut them down now, see how that turns out. Yeah, my craft room looks like somebody's dropped a bomb on it. After I finish doing this video, I'm going to have to stop and clean up because it's just all too much at the moment. And I don't mind the mess so much, but if it's too much, I get quite agitated and I can't work in it. Some of those thicker pieces require a couple more cuts with the blade, even though the blade's a new blade, still not taking it away. That one looks pretty. Got some more things to put down here, but I'm really liking it. It's very subtle. So they're the three for today that I've done. So I hope you enjoyed that, and you'll join me again while I continue to make this. Now, I might not do that in the next video, but I certainly will continue on with this series. And don't forget, if you're looking for them, they're all in the playlist marked. I think it's called Linen and Doily Quilt or something like that, but you'll find it. It's in my playlist. Have a look at my different playlists and you'll find it. And I will catch you next time. Thanks for watching. This is Deborah. Cheers.